Hey, 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 what's going on, everybody? It is Monday. We are back at it again. Look at how quickly them 7 days go. You know what we do. You know how this all goes down each and every Monday. It's Motivation Monday with talent.
Yep.
And it's also Mike Sean joining us today, special co-host. So
You.
look, y'all, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got a lot of cool things to really, bring to the table and, share with you guys. But as always, we start off with finding out how everybody's weekend was. And since Mike Sean is the newest to the tab, we're gonna let him go first. Mike Sean, sir, how was the weekend?
The weekend was good. Tore down a show Saturday in Jersey. And then don't tear down the show and then go see Chris Rock, because then all of a sudden you go like, oh, because I was feeling myself. I was when I tell you I got this one joke that Talon's never heard before, and it was like everybody was rocking with this joke. Like it became a thing for the whole night. And then last night I went to see Chris Rock, and I was like, like Talon does that to me too. Like I'll kill something, and then Talon, then he'll get on stage. I'm like, Shout out to Chris Rock, because Chris Rock went all the way in.
I heard.
Like Chris Rock is going all. If you have a chance to see Chris Rock, go see him, because dog, when I tell you, like, I thought I was going all the way in. I thought I was sharing myself with everybody. And he said nothing about Will Smith. Nothing.
Wow.
It was all about his life and everything he's going through and everything he's been through. And I was like, yeah, I had to like I've been writing for like the last 48 hours. I've been sitting here going like, okay.
Well, Chris got to be one of the most disciplined comics, man.
Yes.
I'm inspired by just his methodic movement and him having a method to the madness.
Yes.
Like, some of us get focused at times and pockets, but that dude, since for the last 20 plus years that I've known him, he just stayed focused the whole time, and like you could never hold on to him. I heard John Phillips went to the Saturday show, so I heard.
Ooh, and like talent knows, and every comedian knows, when you see somebody that's actually disciplined and actually is like, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm going here, and the buildup is coming. And I was sitting there going like as a comedian, I didn't even laugh. Because when you think something's funny, you don't even laugh. You just go like, oh, like that's that. And there was a female next to me who knew me, and she was like, Michael Sean, why do you don't enjoy the show? I said, no, I'm enjoying this show, but I just gotta, there's a time when my 3-pointer has to get better.
Yeah. Hey.
There's some real stuff though. You ain't never lied. I had a good weekend too, bro. It was phenomenal. It's starting. It's crazy when your weekends start on Wednesday.
Well, your weekend starts on Mondays. Tell it like stop.
Dude, it was a good roll of a week. Wednesday room was dope. The Thursday things popping, and then we went to do the one-off show in Brooklyn Friday with Gerald Kelly and everybody. That was dope. And then I went to DC to mess with our good friend. Shout out to Joe Cleese.
Shout out to Joe Cleese.
Dope joint in Bowie, Maryland, and he does a brunch at the DC Improv. So we did those 3 shows back and forth. Shot up the Turnpike, right to the Stress Factory last night. And we'll be talking to those young ladies about that in just a minute. But great weekend. Amir, how'd you cap off, man? Because I seen you, Thursday?
Yeah. Well, like you said, we kicked it off Wednesday. We did Thursday. We boogied down on Thursday down in Harlem.
Amir, you get dressed up every day. Every day you get dressed up. Every day, like that. That's what it is. Every day.
Friday. Mike, just to tell you how crazy it was. Friday, I had to tap out. I tapped out and went to 2 of my men had a 55th birthday party. So I was like, look, I got to tap out. I can't do another night of tap. Doing too much. it's too much. I can't hang. So I ended up at a 55th birthday party Friday night, which was really nice. I hadn't gotten a chance to see my boys, so it was good to see them. And then the rest of the weekend, kind of played by ear. Saturday, my aunt was in town, so I got a chance to, spend some time with my aunt, my mom. And Sunday was rest day
Oh,
or
God
football
bless.
day. So you know what
Yeah.
we do. We get that football in on Sunday. You'd be like, yes, I don't have to be bothered by anybody. I could just sit and watch football all day. So it was definitely a good
Exactly.
weekend.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Welcome to Motivation Monday, everybody out there. Let me get this fun fact out of the way before we dig into the real talk. The best part of the week, I don't know if you guys seen these new potato chips. Chaz chips. You heard about these Chaz chips? They are new pussy flavored potato chips. And I figured let's do this before we bring it
I had the same chips, but she was called Tila.
But here's their description of why. Like they say that they made them this pussy flavored potato chips
Oh
to
my!
help the millennials get laid more. I guess it says that they eat the chips and it reminds them of a little wild moment or a nice sensual moment they have with somebody, and then they go back and want to repeat the experience. That's the biggest crock of bullshit I've ever heard in my life.
Facts. Facts. Because look,
Everybody, I'm not bullshitting. CHAZZ. So, on your own time, go look up, do the Google, do the due diligence, and you will see that. I know it sounds crazy, and I say crazy shit. This ain't me. This really is a fact. A new chip, pussy flavored potato chips called Chaz chips. They're out. Enough said on that. I just wanted to put that out there. I'm just as shocked as everybody else. Anyway, welcome to.
All right, let's get a motivation. Let's get motivation. Let's get.
Here's the thing. First and foremost, on Motivation Monday, we like to welcome once again the one and only co-host, but this is my good comedian friend and colleague, Mike Sean. You already know A-Rock Silly, Amir Silly, a.k.a. Yesterday, guys, was a very motivating show for me. And although all the shows went good, and Joe said something like out in D.C. in the weekend, he was just like, his energy was crazy. He was like, dude, you don't understand. I just love when we funny. You know what I mean? And like his book, this girl, young girl Paris was up there. My man Jake Phillips was a beast. And myself, we were the three comics, and I mean, we were just pow, 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 and he's just running around. His energy was getting more positive. He was like, yo, they was like, yo, Joe, you wild. He was like, nah, y'all just don't understand. I love when we funny. Like when we funny and we all in our bag. He's like, dude, that's a different energy in itself. Speaking of that, when I went to the Stress Factory Sunday, I had what I call the Sisters of Comedy show. It was dedicated with an all-female lineup.
Yeah.
Had Ray Diva there, had Tony Bird there. I had my girl Chocolate Shy there and everything. And from Philadelphia, I had my girl Darkchild there as well, which I believe is in the living room. Can we bring Darkchild? Hey, give her a round of applause.
yes.
What up, darling?
Yes.
Hey, it's your girl.
How are you? I just wanted to call and give you a few flowers. I wanted to get you in here because last night you guys were very inspirational because what I loved about it, no matter what slot each comedian was in, they was bigging up and coercing the crowd to keep the energy going for the next comic. And you were the catalyst and epitome of that, Dr.
I appreciate that. But you know what, talent, we learned that from you. And I give you your flowers. Being the person that you are. Shout out Michael Sean in the building.
Talent ain't
been a-
shit. Talent ain't shit.
it's-
Don't get.
Mike, listen, Michael Sean. Before we go way back, and
Yes.
it'll all come back to you later. But you really do that, talent, and there's a lot of comics that have a venue and a platform.
Right.
But amongst the comics, you are known as the only comic that give back.
That's sad.
That reaches back
Right.
to us to give us a chance to have your name on a flyer with a Michael Sean or anybody.
Right.
And that we always commend you for. So when we are in your presence, it's like it's expected,
Right.
almost without saying that it's that's the class that you bring. Everybody want to do them, but you want to do us.
Well, he
It's
wants
a
to do
them.
everybody. He wants to do
He wants
everybody.
to do
He wants to do everybody.
It's a them.
I guess the only reason I brought it up, to be honest with you, is because I think that amongst women, female comedians,
Oh, bet. Yeah.
that follows that stigma. So when you have, and you guys are going through what we went through as black comics in the 80s, 90s, right? Where the club felt like, mainstream clubs felt like, oh, if I got the black guy, I don't need nobody else. I got the black guy. So a lot of shows do that with women now. They be like, oh, I got the one, I got a girl, or I got a lady, and that's it. So that's why when I get a chance, I'm like, no, put 4 or 5 of them together, let them rock out. But I remember even coming up with Adele and them, the women would have this cattiness thing like, oh, if it's me, who else? I want to be with her, and I want to be, and all that nitpicking going on. And I'm like, I thought we was all chasing the same funny. I thought we was all trying to rip the room and make it funny. And I seen it. It's been a while, but I seen it last night amongst y'all, and it was just dope. And it was firing me up. And
last night before you came, to take the nerves out of everybody, nobody cared what order they went. They just was like, I just want to know where I'm going. And that me and Tony Bird and I stood outside and looked at the flyer and said, you want to know what? At the end of the night, we all on the same daggone flyer. Guess what? All our money looked the same. And we cracked up laughing because it didn't matter. The stage wasn't going to change. The mic wasn't going to change. The host wasn't going to change. The time wasn't going to change. It didn't matter if you went first, second, third, or fourth. That flyer wasn't going to change. It still was us 4. And it didn't say who was better than who was outshining who was what. It was go up there and represent the power of the woman.
Listen, enough said, well said. I just wanted to dip you in for a few minutes. I'm going to go on to Tony Bird. Thank you for giving us some minutes, baby. And you keep up the good work. You're always going to be on my radar.
And thank you. I appreciate you.
Salute you, Queen. Salute you. Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause.
Michael Sean, love you. Y'all keep it up. Thanks a lot. Salute.
I love you too, girl.
All right.
Yo, she done came along.
Yeah.
Like she done made herself. When you see her set, it's amazing. My bad. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much.
Swings with the boys, you're absolutely right. And speaking of swinging with the boys, that's how I like my women comedians. I want to get past the mental or the visual that you're a woman comedian. I just want to get to comedian. So when you swinging with the boys, you become a comedian. Like Tony Bird. Tony Bird, she repped Jersey last night. Tony Bird was at the Stress Factory with the Sisters of Comedy. Bring up my girl up into the living room if she's in there. Tony Bird. Tony!
Hey, what's going on? How y'all feel?
What up, Tony? We're good.
What's going on, man? I the Wi-Fi, I don't know what's wrong with my Wi-Fi, man. I done walked up and down this apartment like 20 times.
You look good. Your Wi-Fi. You look good money right now. It ain't the Wi-Fi, it's those glasses.
Oh, that's what it is?
The fuck is that? Yeah.
Hey, listen. Listen, when I'm in the house, I can act like a girl. You know what I'm saying? So I got girl glasses. I didn't know. I just want to see the screen. I didn't care how they look. I just want to see it. I'm over here standing by the Wi-Fi trying to figure out why this Wi-Fi ain't working. Like, what's going on? I wanted to stand over here next to my wall. See my wall back here? Yeah, I wanted to stand so y'all can see all of that. But the Wi-Fi says stand over here. So I'm just having if I go out, it's because
Okay.
I'm having a difficult time. Okay.
Right. I'm not gonna keep you long. I came to give you flowers for one, and for two, I've been telling these guys. I'm talking about last night. For more reasons, I'm very proud of you. You know me. You're one of my favorites, so I'm probably a little harder on you than most. But that means you're my favorite. But I was telling them, and Talk Show, I was just on here, concurring that y'all was all for each other last night. It was a sister show, and it wasn't none of that catty this and that or whatever. And y'all all went up there and delivered 4 different styles.
Yeah.
4 different bags of material, 4 different styles, 4 different women. And you know what, Mike, showing you a comic and maybe Amir being an audience, you know how sometimes you go to a show, say it's a female show like this, and it just after 2 comedians feels monotonous.
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't get that last night.
Wow. That's great. But you know what's so funny? To the point that you're making about the ladies, like you said, that you had on the bill, because I've thankfully had the opportunity to see everyone with the exception of the young lady who was just on. And I've seen Tony rip salsa. I've seen Tony rip what you call it in Brooklyn. I've seen Ray Diva rip Arugas. I've seen her rip a few other spots. And then Chocolate Shy, you know, us with her and Arugas, that Chocolate Shy is just hilarious by nature of who she is. So to your point, I think that it's great that, you know, now you're starting to get that brand, or you're starting to get just straight comedy. It's not, like you said, about physical appearance. It's not about man or woman or whatever. It's just straight comedy. And it's just the fact that I get a chance to go to a show and totally laugh and let loose. And I applaud, each and every one of them for continuing to work and become great at what they're doing, because like you said, those names will continue to ring bells, and it'll only strengthen, what it is they're doing, and how we'll be able to, see more shows like you put together last night.
But Amir, this is when you get old, because if talent gives you the certification on good or bad, that means you got old. You're old as fuck. Like because when talent tells me, when talent says good job, I'm like, yep, I did a good job. And then when talent calls me the next day and says you drank too much, and he goes, no, talent is the greatest friend. One of the greatest friends that you could ever have, because talent will call you after a bad show and be like, it's not that bad, but just kill yourself a little bit.
No, let me tell you the funny thing with Tony, right? So Tony's back by the bathroom. I'm going to sit over there because I'm trying to tweak the sound, right? So I'm sitting on that side of the room, and she comes out, and I'm like, you good? She's like, yeah, I was just had to go in there and was talking to myself in the bathroom, right? I said, really? I said, what did you say? She said, no. Look, she goes, I told myself, you're here now, blah, 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 you're going to rip it, whatever. I said, yeah. And what did you say back?
Talent is the dude. I have one best friend in my life, Jay Black. He's my best friend. Talent is the one dude that knows to go, so how much you drink? I'm like, I'm good. You're like, okay. We gonna see.
I really do.
We gonna see.
I'm sorry. I really do that before I go to a show. I really do. I really talk to myself in the mirror. I don't know why. I don't care where I'm at. What show I'm going
those
to
glasses. Like I would talk to myself to them.
Yo, now.
Listen, I gotta let you go because I gotta get these other guests in. Thank you so much. I just wanted to thank you personally, give you some flowers real quick, and say that I'm super proud of you, because last night there was different levels to that shit. And you passed every level of flying colors. So salute to you, Tony Bird.
Yes, Tony.
Salute, Tony Bird. Thank you, baby.
All right, thank you.
Talking to me.
All right.
Let's keep it going.
Is my square gonna go away too? Like
No, you're good. Hey, bring my girl Ray Diva and one of the sisters of comedy last night, Dress Factory, New Brunswick. There she go. You still dressed up?
I hate you, T.
She dressed.
I was like, you had her on the show and you ain't put me on the show. You had her on the show. I would have done that for free.
Ray, let me guess. You on your way to a show?
Okay. you lied just a little bit, Talent. We wasn't all getting along. No, we wasn't. I was telling Tony Bird she thinks she's better than everybody. You know? I'm tired of you bitch thinking you better than everybody.
Oh my God.
No, but it was much love. Like, first of all, I was super happy to see Dark Child. I hadn't seen her in a long time. She looked fucking amazing. And all the girls rocked out. I love working with Chocolate. I love working with Tony. Like, Tony is the type of person that when you first meet her, you got to be like, wait a minute, hold up. Because, you know, she got that extraness with her. But then once you get to know her, you like, I just love this girl. I just fucking like, yo, this motherfucker. I had to call. Look, she had me checking in with her last night. I'm like, yeah, I'm home. I'm good. You good? Like, I don't even check on bitches. Like, what the fuck?
Hey, Sean,
I'm gonna check on you after the show. Like, like you good?
It's Tony Bird. If I turn gay, it's Tony Bird fault. It's like y'all checking on bitches now.
No, it's gonna be me. It's gonna be me.
Yo, let me tell you something crazy. Mike, so they got the luxury we don't have. So Ray Diva, this is how these motherfuckers was last night. This girl did her 20-minute set barefooted. She pulled a paddle.
And Tyler, you know that was not my best 20 minutes. And Tyler, you are funny because what people don't understand is I've learned from talking to Talent. One thing, if Talent doesn't see me at my top tier, Talent, you know the words you say to me.
I've been there.
When you go to Talent, when I go to Talent, he be like, "So what'd you think?" And then my whole spirit be like, you get that shit, I'd be like, but Talent is a beautiful person, so I be feeling it with him.
Yo, that is hilarious.
So what'd you think? I thought about
what did you think? What did you think? Oh my God. This motherfucker is a guidance counselor. He's a guidance counselor. He's not even a comedian. He's a guidance counselor. What did you think? How'd you feel about
my service is terrible.
I know. Okay, we ain't gonna keep. We just want you to come in and give you some flowers for a wonderful job last night. All you ladies together. It was very inspirational to see. As a comic, I was in my glory. I was because I got extra energy. I arrived there tired from all the running, but as soon as I got in there and we hit the stage, that second wind came. It was a hellified show. Thank you very much. Salute, Queen Ray Diva.
Thank you. Amir, I love you. Mother Sean, I love you.
I love. What's your Instagram? Because I want to follow you and like your pictures for no reason.
This guy.
I just want to like all the pictures.
One more from last night, and we'll shift gears. I got to give flowers to Chocolate Shy. Can we bring the Shy Lady in from Chicago?
What's happening?
What's going on, John?
Who the fuck up? Who the fuck matches an outfit with juice?
What?
Put your drink up.
What?
Put your drink up. Put your drink up. Look
right here.
Look at this.
I love
this. This is how boss bitches do it. All right. So I'm sorry, I'm not one of them bitches who drinks out of cups and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a woman of a certain age. I got glasses around this motherfucker. We eat off plates up in this motherfucker. I don't feed niggas off of paper plates and paper cups and paper motherfucking straws. We drinking grown folks shit over here. And see, talent, I've been trying to get your ass to come over here because, nigga, I got a whole bar over here. You understand what I'm saying? This is
Oh,
grown motherfucking woman over here. You know what I'm saying? See, but wait, see, talent. Let me tell you something. Because, see, I know we living in a different era right now. When I say I'm a grown-ass woman, I'm a grown-ass woman. Let me show y'all what I'm cooking over here. I got some lima beans. Let me turn this light on over here so y'all can see how real this shit is. I got some lima beans over here going. I got some fried chicken. I got some candy yams going. I'm finna put some okra in this bullshit. This young nigga over here talking about, I want to come with you and right. I said, well, nigga, I'ma feed you too. He was like, well, what you cooking? I said, nigga, I'm cooking lima beans, fried chicken, candy yams, the okra, and some cornbread. He say, you cook like my grandma. I say, nigga, shut the fuck up and come over here and write these jokes and eat this goddamn food before we go hit some more stages up in here and respect this grown woman shit, you know?
Yo, chocolate shy is the best, son. I told you, yo, I love chocolate shy. She is
See, I told you, I'm a different type of woman. I have different problems than most women. I have a problem getting rid of niggas and not getting them. I don't even be bringing niggas to my house that I want to fuck because he be like, no, bitch, I ain't going nowhere. You not coming over here and fall in love. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Real talk. Because I would have stayed at your house. My light skinned ass would have stayed at your house. I made a person, I'd be right in your bed and you'd be like, get out. And be like, no. I would have said no.
I don't even bring comics to my house because these niggas be on bullshit. You understand me? Don't come over here looking around. Don't look at the leather. None of that. Nigga, don't even get comfortable. And if you look too hard, I think you want to rob me, nigga. I got security at the desk. Don't come over here fucking around with that bullshit. I don't want to pull my pistol out on one of these niggas. They don't want to leave. I'm telling you, I have different type of problems as a woman. That's why I don't have problems with me, and I love y'all.
I just want to say I love you. Last night,
I will get you pregnant on purpose in real life.
No, the fuck you wouldn't. I wouldn't have a baby with Puffy, nigga. I got a horrible experience. It all went bad for me. I had 3 baby daddies, and I struck out with all them niggas. You understand me? I would never have a baby again, not even with Puffy. You got me fucked up. It'll be my luck. That nigga get broken, fucked up after he done gave me some dick in a baby. You got me fucked up. No,
you got me fucked up because I get your thigh pregnant and give birth to an ankle. I
you ain't
promise.
gonna get shit over here pregnant. I swallow babies now, nigga. No, ain't no babies coming over here. They get swallowed over here. You understand what I'm saying?
Yo, I love chocolate shy. I tell you, she is.
Have a great night, darling.
She put butterflies in my stomach right now. Yo,
I love chocolate shy. Oh,
I love y'all too.
Oh,
but I really.
That's my girl, Chocolate Shy. Motivation Monday, and the whole setup. The first half of the show is to set up the second half. Thank you very much. Appreciate you, Mama.
I thank you, and I appreciate you. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Is she in Chicago, talent? She's in Chicago.
Yeah, she's been living here in New York now. She comes from. And just to quote real quick on that, I'm glad as an older comedian, I kind of recognize that part, that component of the game. As a young comedian, you just over the head, you don't really give it no thought. That how much it takes for a person to uproot, to move to a big city somewhere else, and just try to make thing pop as a stranger, as a, you know what I'm saying, a visitor, if you will, because you don't know if it's permanent yet till it works for you. You know what I mean? So shout out to people like her who move to LA or Atlanta or Chicago or wherever they move to make it happen, especially as a comic. as a young comic, I never really factored that in. But as an older comic, you realize how difficult that is on top of that. So all of our ladies, round of applause for last night's
Yes. Yes.
Child, Chocolate Shy, Tony Bird, Ray Diva. When I tell you it was inspirational. So I go to a bar after that. I get like 2 drinks before I go to bed because it's early. It's 11. You know what? In my nightclub, got my hotel room, going to sleep. Get into a very interesting conversation with comics. And I've been in the game 31 years. July made 31 years. And what I realized, it wasn't until these last 5 or 6 years where I could honestly say I became a fan of myself. Like, it sounds crazy, but we spend our time putting the work in and building that body work and go show, tour, TV, this, radio, boom. You're just doing it, but you're not even, you're taking your accolades, your compliments, giving you, kudos, but you still not really paying attention to yourself, like almost from a look-in thing. So just until the last 5 months, I just now became a fan of myself.
Wow.
And I put that out there because even though I'm a comedian and Mike's a comedian, to anybody out there, whatever you do, are you your biggest fan?
Yep.
That's a great segue and a great question. I think, in all fairness, depending on whatever line of work you're in or whatever you do, that's the first thing that you need to work on is being a fan of yourself. The other things will come, or the accolades, or the things that seemingly feel good or great about that part of the process. But I've said this on Motivational Monday plenty of times. I've said it on your show, Mike Sean. I've said it on other platforms. Please be in tune with the person that stares back at you from that mirror, because that person you got to be with all the time. We get to be around each other on occasion, good, bad, indifferent, rare occasions or whatever. But the person that looks back at you from that mirror is with you 24/7. Like, you go to sleep, you wake up, you sit down, you got good moments, you got bad moments. And you have to be in tune with that star player, because that player is what the rest of the world comes to fruition with, or comes in tune with. And based off of what you're portraying to the world, it's sending back that wave. Right. So you got to be really mindful of it and be, wait a minute, let me make sure I'm putting out what I'm hoping or what I'm looking to get back. Now, you don't have to hopefully receive it in the same way that you put it out, but hopefully you understand that putting it out and in a way or in a manner that is conducive to who you are and true to who you are, that's the important part. So I hope that people really are taking that to fruition and really processing that for themselves.
And I think people don't understand. Like, I've been in a dark place. I didn't get too deep in a dark place for like 8 months, but I'm breaking out of it and I'm becoming my silly self again. Like, I'm becoming my person where I laugh at stuff. And it was crazy because the first time in my life there was a joke, and trust me, I was bombing. Trust me, I was. But there was a joke that I was leading into that I couldn't make funny because it wasn't funny at the moment. It was the first time in my life I had never been able to turn something from pain into literally joking about it, and I couldn't do it.
Right.
Like, I couldn't do it. Like literally, I was, and everybody was like, well, everybody had he drinking too much. He doing this too much. He doing that too much. But it was really because what I was going through. You just got to walk through the storm. Like, I'm in therapy, like, I'm in therapy like Monday. Like, after I get off this podcast, I got to call and do a virtual therapy with my therapist.
Okay.
So I have to go through that whole situation. But it was the first time in my life that I had never been able to just joke about what was hurting. Like I couldn't do it. Like I literally I couldn't joke about it. You know, with me and my daughters not talking, like I couldn't. Even though the joke last Saturday, the joke was funny because I finally talked to my daughters.
Right.
So then it was funny. Then I could actually do the joke, and Talent has been through more than he lets on, than he's gone through. But that the Saturday was the first time I did the joke, and I was like, I shouldn't say the joke, the material. I did the material, and it worked because I got to talk to one of my daughters. I got to talk to her, and then everything.
Because that's an emotional, mental thing. Mentality, we have very little control over. We
Yeah.
can control all the physical stuff. We can punch you in the face. We can smack you, choke you, race you, push people down. All that you have 110% of control over. What we don't is the mind. The mind's over the body. So
Yeah.
And knowing that from very early on in comedy, my remedy to that, Mike, was a pussy ass remedy where I'm not gonna talk about it because I'm not gonna get up here. No, for real. Like I know it's a pussy way out, but it was my way out because I don't do a lot of shit with gambling. Is probably the only thing I do of uncertainty. That's probably the only thing I do in my life where I'll take a chance, per se. Other than that, I'm reading. I'm doing the numbers. I'm doing my due diligence. I'm doing the research. I know the if and buts, and I know the route to take. It's like a running back waiting for that hole to open, and I'm plowing through that so I get the touchdown. So I know exactly where you're coming from. So when I would go through stuff in my life, whether it was the kids, the baby mothers, whatever, my family, siblings, I would not talk about it
All right.
on the microphone until it got rectified or in a comfortable place where I could articulate without the emotion. Because if it wasn't handled, I know goddamn well, as soon as I start talking about it, the emotion is going to override my physical, what I'm doing, which is just talking. That's why I always tell you guys, if anybody's ever heard any interview I did, I always tell people, I have no shame in the game. Superman kryptonite, he got kryptonite. My kryptonite is like funerals. To go to your funeral and be happy to talk, you know, that does something for me that is very hard for me to override. I almost can never override it. I did it. Sharonda passed away. The only way I did it, I was high.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I was just, hey, everybody. But me knowing what I know and how I feel, I'm not ready for all that smoke.
It's funny because I think, to the points that both of you have made, that's the real crux of it, though. Like when you find yourself, at a crossroads or, like you said, in a dark place or, just emotionally tapped out, that's when you technically find out how tough you really are. And a lot of times it's the toughest process you'll ever have to go through because you have to lean on yourself, believe it or not. Like, it's great to have friends. It's great to have, people who you can talk to and, and all that stuff. But in all fairness, you have to dig deeper in yourself than you probably ever dug before. And you have to come up with a solution, and you have to look at versions and moments of yourself, peel all of that away, and then openly and honestly forgive, delete, and move past that pain and that hurt. And it is not an easy thing to do because, in all fairness, the one thing that we tend to all run from is pain. But I got an older brother who, tells me this all the time. He said, pain is going to do one or two things. It's either going to make you better or you're going to continue to get worse because you refuse to face it. And I listen to that and I play these things in my head. And so when I find myself in certain situations, I'm like, all right, Amir, you got to face this, bro. You can't. Hiding is not going to do anything. It's going to continue to be there. So I got to go through the process so that I can get out on the other side. And I hope that everybody who's listening today, be motivated to strip yourself down at times. I always, say that it's the end of the year when I do it, but maybe some of y'all may need it on a weekly basis. Some of y'all may need it on a monthly basis. And I think if you start giving yourself that kind of tough love, because that's really what it is. It's you being tough on you.
Yep.
You'll find that you'll get through things sooner. Maybe things won't last as long in terms of how you have to, get through things. And last but not least, you'll put yourself hopefully in a space where you stay in a more euphoric state, because at the end of the day, to a point especially that Mike made, when you're not happy, when you're not laughing, when you're not smiling, when you're not in the space where love is what you're vibrating on, you're technically dying, quiet as it's kept. I know that sounds really morbid and crazy, but think about it. When you're happy, all the great things are happening. You find yourself in some of the best moments in your life. You find yourself in and around some of the coolest people and things like that. Very almost never can I think of a time when I was sad, mad, or angry where something great happened. That's just a straight fact. So you got to think about that. You got to process that. You know what I mean?
I mean, it makes sense. And I want people to think about this really internally. Back to what I said about being your own man. I think a lot of us lack that because, like I said, justifiably so, I admitted to that. Like for a very long time, more than 2/3 of my career, yeah, I knew I was doing good. I liked, some nights better than other nights. You start ranking yourself. But ranking yourself, seeing how good you are and where you put yourself, but it's not being a fan of oneself. I think if anything,
Right.
manager, supervisor at your job, or you started a new business, whatever case, you have to believe in yourself. The funny thing is, we have a hard time being a fan of ourselves. We can't be the biggest fan, but we could be the biggest critic.
Yep.
I could do one and not have a problem with doing the other. That's how I feel like even raising kids. It's like if I can discipline this motherfucker for when he do something wrong, I have to be the same guy to reward him or her for when they do something right and good.
Yeah.
There's a balance. But see, as people in here, we're unbalanced. We're not our own biggest fan and biggest supporter, yet we're our biggest critic. So you there when you don't do good, you right there in your own head, bitch ass nigga, you fucked that up. The fuck is blah blah blah. You's a stupid motherfucker. Blah blah blah. We there for all those movies, but for the movies where we need to be there, like we are the champions. Yeah. We don't do that with ourselves.
I say that all the time, Talent. I say that all the time. I said, when we're sad, we will stir the pot and we will play. We'll watch the saddest movies and listen to the saddest songs. And when you're like, guys don't want to admit when their heart is broken, but we will sit there and stir that pot. And what I've done recently is that when I have a good day, I appreciate that moment. Like I stir it up the same way. Like I stir it up when and Amir's been on there too. When we do the podcast, we do a sports podcast. When I'm having fun, I get off here and I absorb the whole thing. The same way I absorb the whole thing when I'm sad. Like, because I'm good. We, as human beings, we're good for that. We'll absorb every bad part of what's going on. Everything.
Yeah.
But then when something great happens, or funny, or just silly, just something silly happens, we let that go. We laugh and we giggle and we just let it go. No, do the same thing. Life ain't nothing but moments. It's one moment at a time. And it's up to you to decide what moment you're going to absorb and what more moment you're going to forget. And I'm done with forgetting. I'm done with absorbing all the sad stuff and forgetting all the happy stuff.
Right.
Like me and my mom had a talk and she made me laugh. Like she made me laugh for real. And I was like, I was about to just walk. I said, no, I'm not going to walk. I'm going to absorb this whole thing. Like what she said was funny as fuck. Like what she just said was hilarious. and I'm gonna sit here with my mom, and I'm blessed enough to have both my parents still here.
That's right.
So I went right back, and I was like, you know what? What'd you say? Like I said it like we was like she owed me money. I was like, say that
What?
again. And, then, and she said what I said, Papi, what I said was, and
And,
I absorbed the whole thing.
and like you said, you need those moments. I think, to again, a great point that you just made, absorbing everything that life has to offer and being in the moment is so paramount to the bigger picture, because the great stuff that happens seemingly in a blink, or like you said, in a flash. But technically, it's just as long as the bad stuff. It's just you're in such a euphoric state that in your heart and in your mind, it's a high, it's a rush,
Yeah.
it's adrenaline, it's all these different things that I'm sure your blood and your brain is supplying. And you have to, like you said, disseminate. Like, wait a minute, okay, let me take a minute and really drink this in. Like, this was a great moment. Let me let this wash over me. Let me, it's to the point that you made. Like you said, we've been on shows. Soon as the show is over, I'll make a phone call to one of y'all or text you and be like, yo, today was a great show. That was just
Right.
that was in the zone. We were in such a zone. That was, and you gotta, give yourself those kinds of moments as well. You can't just, like you said, bask in the misery and sadness and the craziness. You got to give yourself the victory laps. You got to tap yourself on the back every now and again and go,
That person recently, man,
what? You all right?
athlete. Somebody did an interview. I want to say the end of last year, beginning of this year, and it was the simplest but most profound things. And he's like, any regrets? And this was like an all-star person. He was like, he said, yeah, the only thing I really can say I regret is enjoying the moments. He's, I got all these accolades, these awards and accolades and trophies and stuff. He said, and all I can remember is the people around me enjoying my moment more than me.
Yep.
Like, if I could go back, he said, the one thing I would change is to those big moments, stop down and take a moment to take it all in, process it, enjoy it, first of all, before I go move into the next thing. He said, moving. And he said, when you look back on it in those times, he said, all you can see is the people around you who around you for whatever reason, whether it's your loved ones or whatever, celebrating and enjoying the moment and taking it in more than you. He said,
Yep.
that I regret, and that I would do over if I could go back and do it again. And I look back at that, and that's similar to the 31 years I'm talking about. Like,
Yep.
my last 6 years. And God bless people, like Quincy and people like my boy Rick and my team. Over the years, my team did that for me. If I didn't have a team in place, whether you see them or they're behind the scenes or not, if I didn't have that team in place for as long as they were in place, I still probably wouldn't have turned the light on myself and go, yo, I'm a fan of myself. Like, I said that show sitting at the bar with Chris Love last night at Stress Factory. I said, Chris, he was like, oh, how's everything going? I said, man, things are going real good. So, what's crazy is I'm finally a fan of myself. Like, I go up there and come down and be talking to myself, having moments like, that was cool. Or, or you missed that, or you should have did that, or that. But that's being a fan. Not just the guy who's tearing yourself down. We already born our own. We're born that way. Now you got to add a component to level this shit out and be your biggest fan. And with that being said, I want to get this last topic in because we're winding down. We got about 12, 13 more minutes. People, thanks for hanging out. Motivation Money. Quincy, I see you out there, baby. Miss Pink, I see you out there. Trina. Words and labels. Big pet peeve of mine. I hate labels. If you didn't know, now you know. I just don't like. I think the only labels that we should are go under the guise of diagnosis, because that's important. Your health. Yeah, you need to know what the hell you got so they can treat it right. But in general, like these divisive shit that's going on, I'm done with it. They keep making labels up, and if you don't pay attention, you don't even recognize the division and hate perpetrated by the label. It's divisive. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm just a regular black dude from a projects in a small town called Mount Vernon, New York, right? And the only thing I know about politics is, okay, what you say you're gonna do? What you say you're gonna do? All right, I'm gonna go with that one, and I vote, right? I'm not a liberal. I'm not a fucking conservative. I'm not from the left wing, the right wing. I don't even like birds.
First of all, birds has nothing to do with it, but that's hilarious.
Are you right wing, left wing? Fuck all the wings, all progressive. What they got so many labels. Progressive. He's a liberal. He's conservative. He's this, he's Republican. No, I'm not. I'm a guy, right? That's paying attention to my local and my nation politics, and I'll pick and choose who I think is the best candidate to do whatever I hope for them to do. And it's just that. All these words. And this is where the LGBT community got to be careful. Because they're over labeling shit. And if you think we got a problem here, and look, we'll call it straight people. Do you think we got a problem in mainland? Funny, man. If you think we got a problem in mainland. But do you understand what I'm saying? So in the
No, I do.
Like the pronouns and all that stuff, like they're over labeling. And you got to be careful because and these words and fake titles or whatever, and organizations, they become devices quicker than you can see it coming.
Yeah, and I'm 51 years old, so I just want to tell y'all, like people want people to understand. Like my biggest problem when I'm in therapy is like they don't understand, they don't understand, they don't understand, they don't understand. And what I had to realize was it's not their job to understand. It's your job to understand what you're going through. It's your job to figure out what it is that you're going through and why your behavior lashes out in whatever way it does. It's not anybody, it's not my kid's job. It's not the LBQQ, whatever. It's nobody's job. It's your job to figure what you're going through and what you've been through. We all been through some real shit. Everybody watching right now has been through some real shit that if you sat in that person and you could see their eye lenses and see what they saw, you'd be like, oh shit, that's why. But it's not their job. It's your job to figure it out. So that's why you have to reach out. And I sound like I'm on this soapbox, but it's your job.
This is what we're talking about. I mean,
yeah, it's your job to figure it out and try and find some help and try and figure things out. Like it's nobody else. Everybody's going through something. Nobody got time to figure. But if you find that person who's willing to listen, do me a favor. Give that person the respect they deserve and listen to them. Like, listen to what they've been through. Like, don't just take it and be a selfish person and be like, okay, so you understand me, but now she or he or whatever you want to do, she or he is telling you what they've been through. Okay, so now lend an ear and pay attention so that you can actually be like, oh, damn, I didn't know you've been through that. Like, I have a person in my life right now who listened and then I had to listen to what she was saying. Because as comedians, we just run these streets. We just run. We just run. And sometimes somebody wants to listen and we don't give them time to listen. But this particular person has listened. And now it's my turn. Now it's my turn to be like, what you've been through. Like, what is it that you're going through or what you've been through? And she and facts. These are facts on facts. She was like, I've never had somebody ever ask me what I've been through. And then she told me, and then I was like, I get it. Like, I understand. Like, I didn't know, like, the stuff that Talent said today. I had no idea. Because Talent is the most confident person you will ever see in life, you don't even know he's going through shit.
Right.
Like he was always the person that I was like, all right, like, like I always giggle. Talent would call and check on people, but at the same time, nobody checks on him. And at this point, well, for me, he's gonna be annoyed with me because I'm gonna check on him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check on him to see he's okay. So all right, I ran my mouth. Go ahead, Amir.
That doesn't even annoy me. I welcome and respect that. Like right now, right? The real talk is like one of my oldest sister actually. Like we're not speaking right now because of a little stupid stuff. You know, my son. For everybody who don't know, my son was on stage about 4 weeks ago, and on stage he hit his head. It was a whole big thing. But when you're dealing with family in this line of work, the first thing you do is cover it and keep it close to the vest until you know what the hell you're talking about for the public. Because you know how people go crazy. What? So for those couple of weeks, 2-3 of those weeks, you know, we got it close to the vest and stuff like that. Now, the only people who know, I have a chat on my phone with all 8 of us, brothers and sisters. And I did that because we're all over the place. We don't get to see each other. So every day we can say good morning, whatever, and feel close and connected to each other.
Right.
So my older sister, she's always been in the chat. She's going through her medical stuff now. So her insurance don't cover everything. She needs a few dollars to go towards the meds, no problem. I said, whenever you need, just get on the phone, call me. If I got it, you got it. It's never a problem.
Right.
Now, my problem was the one, you know how you do something 1 or 2 times with somebody, and then they fucking just go too crazy ham with it. So now she older than me. So we barely know how to work Cash App, right? So I Cash App this bitch twice.
Oh my
Then
God.
every fucking time, Amir, she's in my Cash App. She didn't even speak to me yet and say, hey, bro, I need $50. I'll just pick the phone up, fucking Cash App request. Like I owed it. Like she's the cable company, right? So when I see her on more than one occasion, I say, hey, T, you know, that's not how that works. You can't do that like that because people have to have money on their Cash App to Cash App. I might not have it there. So talk to me first. Tell me what it is. I can tell you if I have it or shit. If I need to walk down the block and meet you. But talk to me, just out of respect. Oh, yeah, but nigga, it was like I said, nothing, right? I did like this. I chalked it up. It's my older sister. She don't fucking know technology. I was going to let it go. This shit happens to my son on I want to say a Wednesday night. Dude,
Yeah, I think it was
what I'm doing. I go into my bar, like my normal routine, nightcap, go home, go to bed. I go in there. I'm not even halfway through the drink. His mom hits me, hey, somebody called town, we got to get to the Brooklyn Hospital. Okay, so I go. That's Wednesday night. So by Thursday, I put in the family feed. We're keeping it low, but yo, your nephew, he fell out. We don't know what the fuck happened. We're running tests galore, blah, blah, blah. This is in the family feed, bro. All the siblings. This because outside the feed, it texts me and said, hey, got that $50 and some. And I dude,
I'm just laughing to make you feel better because it's funny. But I'm laughing to make you feel
now you guys know it's not the $50 we drink that shit for 20 minutes. It's the fucking principle. Are you kidding me? You just heard your nephew is damn near you could say a coma, even though he's not in a coma. They got you sedated. You're down. Help you breathe. You're on the fucking defibrillator. We don't know what the fuck. At this point, literally, it's the first 24 hours, so we don't know if we're gonna have a son. That's how bad it is. Right? And you come right behind. I'm informing y'all. Your nephew's in there. Pray. Blah blah. I ain't asking nobody for nothing. Pray for your nephew. It's your fucking nephew. And right behind her, you gonna say, "Yeah, did you get my text about the $50?" So I put in the fucking family feed. Matter of fact, it wasn't a family feed because I remember responding. I said, "Yo," I said, "Not now. Do you not just see what I just put?" And then quiet, right? So when I get with my brother, like a couple weeks later, I was like, yo, this fucking bitch pissed me off. He was like, yeah, I seen she put that shit. I thought that was. How the fuck do you do something like that? That's like me saying to Amir, hey, Amir, that party's gonna be crazy Friday afternoon. A nigga go, yo, you better call Amir. Amir, his cousin got shot. Whatever. I call Amir. Man, you okay? Nah, man, he ain't make it. He died. Fuck. Damn, my condolences, bro.
Oh, don't say it.
But what time you want me to pick you up for the party?
What a
Party?
facts, yo. You both, like you said, you both hit the nail on the head, man. It's a combination of things. First and foremost, like you said, the whole giving people and putting us in boxes or labels that they've done now or that they're doing is so, crazy because it leaves everybody feeling so odd and, weird when it comes to whatever it is they're trying to really, do for whatever reason. And I feel like sometimes you gotta, no problem, sir. I'm over here helping people out. It's just to show y'all I'm working hard at everything we do. You gonna clear that? Yeah, no, this gentleman, he's trying to clear a table and some stuff.
Shit sound like tears.
Yeah.
Give me my damn mozzarella sticks. Like now.
But you try your best to, like you said, be supportive. But the labeling, I think, first and foremost, let's address that. I hate labels. I hate the fact that we've gotten to this space where, we putting people in boxes, this, that, the third. Each and every one of us are super amazing individuals, and I hate the fact that we don't take that into consideration. We don't utilize that as a way of, or a train of thought. And then to, the point that you were just making about, when people ask how to ask you for things, first and foremost, be cordial and say hello, or are you okay? I hate the you go immediately to, can I get, or would you send me, like, just say hello first. If you don't do anything else, get that out the way. Say hello. Hey, you all right? Blah, 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 blah. Then we can have a conversation about whatever else you may feel, or deem necessary for us to have a conversation about. But to not do that, I think is so disrespectful, first and foremost.
Did you see that video going viral, bro?
Which one?
The guy who's opening the door at Starbucks.
Yeah.
Yo, dude, shut this dude down and mushed his whole face. He gonna say, yo, bro. He said, yo, hold up. Hey, first of all, he gonna tell him to hold up. He going to Starbucks. He said, I just held the door for you, man. He's like, yeah, I said, thank you. No, you didn't. You said good morning back. He was like, all right. He was like, no. Man. Give me some money, get some coffee. He said, I ain't got it. You ain't got it? You going to Starbucks, B? He said, McDonald's. That nigga, are you serious? Mush this motherfucking thing. But this is how they are on the street. Remember I tell you that story that happened to me? My little chicken spot, Chicken Hut. I'm going in there. I'm with Kenny Williams. I get out the car. You about to drop me off. So let me get a little burger. A fish burger first. I go in there. Right at the door. Hey, bro, got a few dollars, get something to eat. I said, maybe on the way out, bro. I go in there, get my shit. I said, you know what? To the guy, put this in a separate bag. Give me a 3-piece biscuit. 3 pieces of chicken and biscuit, whatever. This nigga hungry, I'm buying food. I'm walking out, Mike showing real talk. I go like this, here you go. The nigga said, he looked and said, what's this? I said, it's a 3-piece and a biscuit. That nigga said, I wasn't gonna get this.
No, but dog, even in that experience, like I'm gonna toot my own horn. I kept a family from being homeless when I was in Texas. Like I legit kept somebody from goodness gracious. I'm trying not to be mad about it. But that person turned around and made allegations against me.
What?
With somebody who I'm super cool with that has helped me, and turned around and said, "Oh, he did this, he did that, he did this," and I was like, "Dog, I'm trying to do it in the terms that are proper." I'm trying to do it in terms that are proper. Like your kids were about to be, like I saw the sticker on the door, and for like 3 months I sat there and paid simply because I love kids. I do love kids. Like like that's just that's my soft spot. But then turned around and said stuff to people that I couldn't believe that you actually said. But it's like the talent thing on the group chat when you said that you like, how do you say this? You gotta go, Amir.
Yeah, I gotta pull out.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, easy with the pull out. Easy with the pull out. Easy with the pull out.
I salute y'all. Motivational Monday. Great rapping with y'all. I catch y'all next week.
All right, Amir.
All right, brother. Go ahead, Mike.
But anyway, but it was so irritating because I'm like, everybody got that breaking point where you want to blast off on somebody and you want to be like, "Dog, I kept you from being homeless for like 3 months and I didn't have to." Like, I didn't have to. I could have minded my business and just kept that money to myself. And for 3 months, I sat there. And the third time, I was like, "Girl, this is it. Like, this is it." But then turn around, and life and the world is a small world. The person that is helping me get through like the darkness, she knows this girl, and she told me what she said about me.
Wow.
And she was like, "You know what she said?" And you've seen the woman, because you came on the show, and I got to get you back on the morning show. And she was like, she said this, and that. And the woman that and my core friends, the woman was like, "Dog, if I see you talk to her again, I'm gonna fuck her up." And I was like, "Why?" Because why are you still talking to her?
Right.
Why are you still literally having conversations with her,
knowing what you know?
What I know? And I was like, yeah, you're right, because I just happen to be in Dallas, but
because we're idiots and we give the benefit of that
all the time. All the time, dog. And when I tell you the compliments, and the worst compliment I ever gave this one particular person was, and understand, this wasn't a lie. You ever meet somebody like, "You're brilliant. All you have to do is stop doing the stuff that you're doing." Like, we can see the talent. We can see the talent in somebody, no pun intended. And I'm like, "Yo, you are brilliant. All you have to do is just stop." Well, fuck it, I'm gonna say, stop fucking everybody.
Right.
Just stop doing it, and you'll be okay. Like, you have the talent to do everything you want to do. And then come to find out that behind my back, I'm being told I'm like I was OJ.
Really?
And you know me, talent. Like anybody who knows me knows I ain't never done, like, I'm not even that dude. Like, I might say some crazy shit to you, but I'm not even that dude. But the same way you said on the group chat is the same way I felt when I found that out, and I was like, "Wow, you really gonna take it? You really gonna do that?" But that's people, and sometimes we gotta, like, I didn't know you were going through what you were going through. Like, I had no clue what you were going through. But
right.
Everybody is going through some shit. Everybody's going through something that's very heavy and very dark. Like, everybody has to go through it. So you just have to keep your circle tight. Like, you got to keep that.
The same thing in closing out.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We about 14 minutes over, but we came in about 6 late. So shout out to Amir one more time and all the people that tuned in to Motivation Monday. But like, I was going to say something, an analogy very similar to what you're saying. Sometimes people, you have to do what they do in infrastructure. You know, when they pass the bill for infrastructure and they redo these highways, you ever notice, Mike, sometimes they make a highway wider, and a lot of times they take a lane or two away, and that's to control the influx of traffic. So to Mike's point, you might need to condense that highway. You might have too many, and people coming down these lanes, and all of them don't mean you well.
Yep.
You know, the reason or season. Always remember that. People come into your lives for a reason or for a season, and everybody's not permanent in your life. That don't mean they get to finish the journey with you. You know, somebody don't mean that they got to finish. Everybody's there for a reason. That person might have been there to open your eyes to something to get to the next level. You meet somebody who's open your eyes to get to the next level. Whatever it is, you know what I mean? Be aware, be conscious of the people around you, and start to pick out the division. Start to pick out the people that's hanging around you that's trying to keep people at each other. Those are the divisive people. And top thing you should have walked away from this episode with is try to figure out how to be the number one fan of yourself.
Yes.
All right? This is Mike, Boy Talent. Amir Silly just left the building. Shout out to all my girls that came through, the Sisters of Comedy, Ray Diva, Tony Bird, Chocolate Shy, my girl Dark Child. We represented Chicago, Philly, Baltimore, Jersey, New York, and it was crazy. Salute y'all. See y'all next Monday. Thanks, Mike Sean. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.